The Dodgers have been forced into an impossible decision. We get into exactly what that is in this edition of Dodgers Digest. Hey, this is Mike Nelson. Hopefully everyone's having a great day today. The Dodgers, of course, just took 2 out of 3 from the Padres. A big series win. But let's get into this story. Max Muncy. That's right. The Funky Muncy. Max Muncy. The Funky Muncy. Of course, everybody that's been to Dodger Stadium and remembers the old walk-up song that Muncy used, you know exactly what I'm talking about. But what are we going to do with Max Muncy? As we know, the start of the year was super slow for Muncy. It was a difficult start for him in this 2025 season. But he has definitely turned it around, right? I mean, the last few weeks, ever since he, made that switch and started wearing those goggles, those prescription goggles, I think his vision has really improved, and he's seeing the ball a lot better. Made some contributions this afternoon out at Petco Park, and he's looked great. He's swinging the bat. He's making good contact. He's not striking out as much. He just looks like a whole different player the last few weeks, right? He looks like a player that the Dodgers, I don't think you want to get rid of a player like that, right? I mean, we were calling for the trade. We were calling to trade Max Muncy just a few weeks ago, right? I mean, we were doing videos. We were talking about this, myself and Brad J., talking about what the Dodgers were going to do with Max Muncy. And it seems like now they have been kind of forced to, they're going to be kind of pushed to make a pretty impossible decision. Before I get into the story, make sure to subscribe. Myself and Brad, we're bringing you everyday Dodger content. We got the Monday morning live stream. Tomorrow we got another live stream as well. So make sure to subscribe and hit that notifications button. But let's, of course, get into the story. Max Muncy spoke to Dodgers Nation, Doug McCain, talking about, his future with the Dodgers. He said, "I don't think it's any secret that I would like to retire here." This is what Muncy told Dodgers Nation's Doug McCain. "I made that very well known. In terms of how that works out, I can't worry about that right now." But basically, Max Muncy is saying he wants to spend the rest of his career with the Dodgers. Of course, a guy that really struggled to make it in the big leagues. I mean, this guy had to really work at it to get a shot in the big leagues, right? I mean, this guy was not an overnight success. It was a long road to the top, right? Just like AC/DC says, it's a long way to the top if you want to rock and roll, right? And that's exactly what the road for Max Muncy was. I mean, it was not easy. This guy was with the A's and, kind of bounced around and finally got a shot here with the Dodgers. And, he really made the best of it. And he's been great. I mean, this guy has been, sure, he's had some down years. He's had some down moments. But for the most part, Max Muncy has been a player that's been an asset for the Dodgers. I think everybody can agree with that. And that's what makes this decision that the Dodgers are going to have to make even more difficult, right? I mean, it's not going to be easy at all what the Dodgers are going to have to go, what they're going to have to decide with Muncy in the offseason. I just try to focus on what I could do for today. This is what Muncy, of course, talking about to Dodgers Nation about what's going on right now with this, what's going on this season with the Dodgers. He said, "How can I get better today? What I need to do is, get in the cage, in the field, weight room, training room, need to get my body healthy." And, basically Max Muncy, was saying that he's focused on this year, right? I think he's focused on right now, this season. He wants to win another World Series championship with the Dodgers this year, right? And right now, the way Max Muncy is playing, this article that was posted this morning kind of makes an interesting point, right? I mean, the way his production has been, at the plate and on the field suggests the Dodgers are going to pick up his option, right? There's a team option for 2026 that's going to be a $10 million, it's basically a bargain, right? It's $10 million for Max Muncy. And, that's kind of a bargain, especially if Muncy keeps it going. If this guy picks up fire in the second half and continues putting up the numbers that he's been putting up the last few weeks, I mean, it's going to be a player that you're going to want for $10 million, right? And the fact that Muncy has played first base and second base in the past suggests he has value as a multi-position backup. And the Dodgers, would like to have a player like that, especially with the aging Freddie Freeman at first base. Yeah, you might think, come on, Mike, this guy's still one of the best hitters in the game. He sure is, but he's definitely he's getting up there. I mean, Freddie Freeman, as we've been seeing, he's been having more injuries as of late. Right now, knock on wood, he's been healthy, but the guy likes to play every day, and he could go down again with an injury, and the Dodgers need to have a backup first baseman that can hit and can be a player that's, can be important in the lineup, right? Because right now, of course, you have Dalton rushing, who could potentially be, that backup for Freeman as well, right? The Dodgers' backup catcher. But Rushing is still not quite ready, I think, to be a player that the Dodgers can rely upon, offensively yet. I mean, he still is pretty green when it comes to his Major League Baseball experience. I mean, it's literally his first year. So Max Muncy is a seasoned veteran that, when he's up there can be, a dangerous up-bat. I mean, this guy is dangerous every time he comes up to the plate. And, this, of course, today, want to talk a little bit more about what he said to Doug McCain. But, of course, he said, I would hope so. This is, of course, talking about, the future beyond 2026, right? Because the Dodgers have that team option for next year. But does he want to stick around more than that? And he said, I would hope so. I would hope I have several big years left in me. The goal is to focus on the here and now. But Max Muncy doesn't see himself as a one more year kind of guy. He wants to keep his career going. And, today, of course, went 2 for 3 out there in San Diego. Had a pretty solid day in the Dodgers' 5-2 win out at Petco Park. A solid performance for Max Muncy. So, he's still a dangerous up-bat, right? I mean, this guy, sure, he's had some, like I said, he strikes out sometimes a bit too much. He had a very slow start to this season, but he has turned it around. But what does everybody think out there? I mean, do we give Max Muncy a brand new contract? I mean, if Max Muncy continues to put up the numbers he's putting up, do we go into next season thinking we're going to give Max Muncy a multi-year extension? Would you give a multi-year? Let's play GM. Let's play front office for a bit. Would you give Max Muncy a multi-year extension beyond 2026? Well, if you're asking me, maybe you're not asking, but you're watching Dodgers Digest, and that's where you get, myself and Brad giving our opinions. But if you ask me, I would not give Muncy a multi-year extension. I just wouldn't do it. I think Muncy has been good, but he has been inconsistent at times. And I think the one-year team option, is a good idea, especially if we don't know what's going to be available down the line at that position. Nolan Arenado, you don't know if he's going to be available. I just think you don't give Muncy a multi-year extension. You play the 1 year, and, we'll see how next year goes. But you just got to, you can't, I would not lock up Muncy for a multi-year extension. I just don't think he's been consistent enough to deserve that kind of contract from the Dodgers. As always, make sure to subscribe, and let's go Dodgers. Woo!